Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome, or maybe even welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about my unpopular design opinions. So I did a couple of these videos almost like a year ago or so, and they were so much fun to do. And then it took me a year to come up with 5 really good unpopular design opinions that I really wanted to share with you all. And that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. These are opinions that I have that are not shared by maybe other interior designers or sort of popular opinion, but I don't care. I stand by them because these are just things that I really believe, and they're sort of counter to some of the advice that you see on YouTube or in other sources. And that's okay, we're all allowed different opinions, and I'm going to share my unpopular ones in this video. I'm also gonna try to share a little bit of the logic behind some of these opinions so that you can understand sort of where the other side is coming from and why I sort of have a different opinion than the conventional wisdom. So let's get to it. Okay, but before I get to those unpopular design opinions, first let me thank today's sponsor, which is SkillShare. SkillShare is an online learning community where you can learn real life skills from real life people that are experts in their own fields. Recently, I took a class from Andy J. Pizza. Yes, that is his actual name, and I just love that, on finding your own style. This was an awesome way to learn more about your personal style and how you can find a style that really works for you that can apply to all areas of your life. So whether that's your home, the clothing that you wear, or it can even apply, of course, to your work too. And with Skillshare, classes are video-based, and so they are also self-paced, which makes it really easy to fit into a busy schedule. And the first 1,000 of my viewers to sign up through the link in my description will get 1 free month trial of Skillshare. Now let's get back to those unpopular design opinions that I have. Okay, first of all, the first unpopular design opinion is that fixed elements don't always have to just be neutral. So I mean things that are fixed to the space, obviously. So those are things like flooring, tile backsplashes, countertops, cabinetry, tile in your bathroom, right? Tile on the floor, tile on the walls, whatever the case may be. Those things are fixed to the space, meaning that they're very difficult to change. You can't change them out the way you can a piece of furniture, like, this chair that I'm sitting on, or of course, even things like pillows or other decor, which are generally super easy to swap out. So these things are fixed to the space. That's why they are fixed elements. So the conventional wisdom, of course, is that those fixed items should be the most neutral, basic, inoffensive backdrop to your space that you can possibly imagine. And I get it. That is overall reasonably decent advice when it comes to, choosing those really timeless elements that make sense for your space. So choosing a subway tile as opposed to doing something super crazy and funky. So that is generally reasonably good advice. My unpopular design opinion, though, is that good design takes risks. And sometimes I'm here to tell you, I see there's someone in there that's watching this that's like, oh, should I just go with the really basic sort of white tile that I have selected, or should I go with my heart and go for some bottle green tile or something? I'm here to tell you, if your heart is in that bottle green, really go for it, or really just you have permission, okay? You don't just always have to go for the timeless option, although you all know that I'm a big fan of raising awareness of what pieces tend to age better, and subtle and neutral tends to age better. But that doesn't mean that you should always choose it, because sometimes it just really makes sense to choose something really bold and funky and take some risks. Yes, even in your fixed elements. So for example, in my bathroom, I have this really funky, cool tile that I'm absolutely in love with, and I'm in love with it as much now as I was when I put it in a couple of years back. And maybe I won't love it in 5-10 years, but the joy that I'm getting out of that tile every time I'm in that bathroom is worth taking that risk, taking that chance, committing to that tile. Is it gonna date quicker than a white subway? Sure. Do I still love it? Absolutely. Do I regret it? Not for a second. Okay, next up, my next unpopular design opinion is don't always design for resale. So I don't know if it's because I live in Vancouver, which is a town that is obsessed with real estate. I think we are the second most expensive city in the world when you compare incomes versus the price of real estate. It's crazy. I know New York and San Francisco and all these cities, yes, they're expensive. So many expensive cities out there. Look it up. It's like us in Hong Kong. It's ridiculous. This town is obsessed. And so therefore, every time you talk to anybody, it's all about resale. How are you going to sell your apartment? How are you going to sell? But again, going back to that first piece I talked about a second ago, don't choose anything too funky, because obvious people won't like it, which is why we all end up with these same white kitchens, you know, whatever, gray washed flooring or a light oak flooring, and everybody goes for the same sort of styles over and over and over again. I get it, but everybody's house doesn't necessarily have to look like Studio McGee. You know what I mean? Like, we can venture out and try new things. And that's really the key here, is trying things that work for you and not just the person that's going to buy your apartment or your house in 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years. Now, I will say where this is coming from does make sense if your goals are to be in your home for a year or 2 or 3 or maybe even 5, depending on your time horizon. I hate the term forever home. I just hate that term. Like, this isn't my forever home. No, you know what? You live here. You live here now, make it yours. This is yours. Whether you're gonna be renting there for a year or you're going to be in there forever, who cares? Make it your own. I just think when you're constantly designing and picking those fixtures and those fixed elements and those finishes that are gonna make sense for the next person, no one's ever gonna be happy, and you're not gonna be happy in the space that you have right now. So pick things that are gonna work for you, assuming your timeline and your time horizon is long enough that those decisions are going to make sense. I'm not saying put in a pool in a place that you're maybe gonna like own for a year. Like, obviously that doesn't make sense, but if your plan is to be there for a considerable amount of time, make it your own and stop thinking about how you're gonna sell this place, you know, in the future. Someone else, it just takes one buyer to fall in love with it. Just enjoy the space that you have now because it's yours, make it your own, and stop worrying so much about the next person. By the way, please note, this is not real estate financial advice. It's design advice. Love the space you're in. Okay, unpopular design opinion number 3, and this is going to upset some people, and that, because I see you in the comments, and that is, sometimes you can buy things that are dust magnets. You can buy things that are difficult to dust. Now, I have a series on this channel called Impractical Design where I feature things that, you know, deserve a sober second thought because they look good on social media, but maybe they're like not super awesome. And one of the things that I talk about is how difficult some things are to clean. And it's good to go in with your eyes wide open on what those things are. But I think some people, I see you in the comments, love you. I love that we're aware, you know, I get it. We're giving a good preview to everybody. We're doing a public service by letting people know the ins and outs of these items before they put them in their home, so I get it. But sometimes you can choose things even though they're going to attract dust. Like, I don't purchase every item that I have. I don't make every design decision that I do based on how it is easy or difficult to clean. Sometimes some items are difficult to clean, but they're worth it. You know, like, I love a basket pendant. I think it is really great. Yes, they're super popular. Are they a bit overplayed? That's up to you, but who really cares? Honestly, they are really great. And yes, do they attract dust? Of course they do, right? They're not the easiest things to necessarily clean. Some things do attract dust. Well, everything really attracts dust, and some things are a little bit more difficult to clean than others, but they might be worth it if you love them, right? If you really love some of these pieces that are difficult to clean and maybe are a little bit extra work, sometimes that's okay. Sometimes, you know what? It's fine that you might have to do a little bit of extra dusting, a little bit of extra vacuuming, if you love something and it's really worth it for you. So yes, you take these things into account, but unpopular opinion, sometimes really difficult items that are difficult to clean and difficult to dust and whatever are worth it. Get them anyway. I will also add, quick disclaimer, this is a person who is part of a couple where there's only 2 of us. So no, I do not have like 7 children, which obviously if you do, I completely understand that you can disregard this point because maybe easy to clean in that circumstance is like top of your agenda, in which case, you do you. Okay, next unpopular design opinion is going to be faux plants can sometimes be okay. Here's the deal. Some areas are just like, it's weird. Like, if you have a patio and you have fake plants, like, do you really need that? Like, you know, it's fairly easy just to find some plants that are gonna work for the amount of sunlight that you get for your patio space, and like, maybe you should just water your plants. You know what I mean? Like, Google it. Like, you can figure out how to care for some of these really basic plants that you can put outside. And some of them are easier to care for than others. Google it, figure it out. Like, you can find plants that are gonna work for a patio space, assuming you have like a reasonably normal patio and there's nothing weird going on. Inside the home though, we're talking about the interior, sometimes faux plants are okay. Not all of us are blessed with a green thumb. I think the only plant I've kept alive really is like a snake plant. I even killed mint, and like mint is really hard to kill. So, you know, some of us just don't have that green thumb, and that can be okay. And sometimes we want plants in rooms that just don't make sense because they just don't have have any natural light. And I think that's okay. If you really want plants in your bathroom, but it's just not gonna work because there's absolutely no like natural light in there, and like there's just no way to make it work, and you don't want one of those really easy ones that don't really need a whole lot of light, like I don't know, bamboo or again, I'm not a green thumb, I don't know, but I assume succulents and bamboo are pretty low maintenance. But anyway, assuming you want something in the bathroom and you want a plant there, but like it just is not gonna work and you just can't figure it out, like get a faux plant. Like it's fine. Calm down, everybody. We don't like need to shame everybody for having their faux plants. Are they difficult to clean? C.3, who cares? If they work for you, you do you and you get that faux plant. What I will say, and I've documented this on the channel several times, choose high quality ones. If you're gonna have a faux plant and it's gonna be with you for years, spend the extra few bucks and don't get the cheapy ones from IKEA or like, I don't know, Dollar Tree or something. Maybe they have good fake plants, I don't actually know. But go for the good ones, like, take the time to think, like, does this actually look real, or does it literally have the tiny pieces of plastic, like little hairs of plastic flying off of it? Like, don't get the cheap stuff. Like, if you're going to go the fake plant route, invest in something that's reasonably good quality, is going to last you for a while, and is going to look as real as possible. Like going to an actual nursery where you buy the real plants, they also sell fake plants there too, depending on the nursery. And I find that those ones tend to be higher quality than the ones that you're gonna get from some of the big box retailers, just my own experience. So I would say they're generally fine. We need to calm down with the fake plant phobia and just pick the ones that work for you. Okay, and then my last unpopular design opinion is going to be, sometimes carpet is okay. I know, I can hear the gasps around the world. I don't think anybody cares that much about what I have to say, but sometimes carpet can make sense for people, right? Like if you've got a rec room, a basement, it's super cheap, right? It's super cheap to install. It's generally lasts a very long time. It can be good for kids because, sometimes, I don't know, they're gonna hurt their little feetsies on some hardwood or vinyl plank or I don't know, whatever. That can really make sense. Carpet can actually, that's not a word. Carpet can actually work really well in a bedroom. I know that feels like very much, I think like more of a European thing, maybe it's more of a British thing, but carpet can really make sense in a bedroom, and it can be quite nice to like wake up in the morning and put your feet on some squishy carpet. Not necessarily the worst thing. As I said, very affordable, generally reasonably durable, depending on the quality of what you're gonna spend. Again, like I would go to a reputable place rather than buy the stuff that kind of fell off the back of a van. Like spend a little bit, get the carpet that's going to rear quite well so that you have it for years to come, so you're not replacing that, because again, that is fixed. Remember we talked about that. So invest in something that is a reasonably good quality that you're gonna be happy with and you're not gonna regret several years down the road. But I would say that carpet can work for some people, especially those rooms where, you're looking for perhaps some soundproofing, you're looking for a nice, soft, squishy surface. Again, bedrooms, it can make sense. Kids' rooms, things like that. You can definitely look into carpet. I know it's like all interior designers recoil and absolutely hate carpet, and I get it. It's not my first choice. Do I have carpet in my home? No, I don't. Do I want carpet in my next home that I'm building? No. But would I shame somebody for choosing to put carpet in their bedroom? No, I wouldn't. I would say that that's a reasonably good choice, not the choice that I would make, but it's a fine choice. I'm not going to shade anybody for that choice. It can make sense for you. Sometimes, some circumstances, for some people, carpet's a reasonable option. Okay, so that is it for me for today, you guys. Comment below with your unpopular design opinions, because maybe I share them and I can steal them for a future video. All credit, of course, given to you in the comment section if I do. And go ahead and check out those unpopular design opinions that I did from last year. I'm gonna link here to the playlist. You can check out those too, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks, bye.